Oh, what a job. Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today, I got a mess. I got about 6,000 of these rounds of 40 calibers that I have to take and reseat them. Because originally when I made these, they're for a Browning high power pistol. And I loaded them with the seating a little longer than what the book says. And my friend decides he bought himself a SIG, and I loaded these for him. And now that he's got the SIG, the chamber, or not the chamber, but the clip itself on the SIG is so tight on the tolerance that if you seat the bullet long, what happens is it won't fit the clip. So now I got to go through 6,000 of these rounds, and I got to punch them all down to specs from the book. The high power Browning, they're shooting fine out of that. They're all chambered to fit perfectly fine for the rifling. I measured them all, or measured the barrel so that we knew we weren't going to be dangerous on it, because I like to seat my bullets out as far as I can, and with doing that it seems like I get a lot better accuracy, even on pistol. I know a lot of people say they don't bother with pistol, but I like to be a little bit more precise on it, and I got all the tools, so why not use it? Try to get the most accuracy for what you're doing. You know, in 6,000 rounds, that's a lot of rounds to screw up. But it's also nice to have 6,000 rounds that shoot well. So now that I had to do this, what I'm afraid of is that when I load them the first time, what happens is that you seat the bullet and then you taper crimp it around the outer edge. And when you do that, it seals it pretty tight. And now that I got to punch them down, you know, another 10 thousandths, or I think it's like 12 thousandths, something like that. I got to punch them down 12 thousandths. And anyways, I got this all set up to book specs. It's all done right out of the book now, so they'll fit the SIG with no problem. But being that you do this, what happens is you push the bullet down into the case while they're crimped. And then while they're crimped, what happens is you scratch, you take the emulsion and the coating off of the bullet tip. And I'm afraid that it could affect your accuracy. So I'm not saying it's going to do a tremendous bad job on accuracy, but you know, you're taking that precision work out of it. Everything you put into it to start with, now you're defeating the whole purpose. So we got 6,000 rounds here that we got to save them. They're all shootable, it's not a problem. They're all loaded safe. We just got to get these things so that they'll shoot through the gun. Because if I got to pull these bullets, we're gonna have to start over from scratch, and all these bullets are going to be scratched. So, you know, if you're going to go through all that work, you might as well just punch them down a little bit, what you need to fit the SIG, and then you can at least shoot them, you know. And I don't think they're going to do too bad at all. I think they're going to be just fine. So with that said, that's about all I got on this. Just thought I'd throw a quick video out there for you guys. You can see what I'm going through. I got doing it one by one. I set up the progressive loader so that I bypass all the stations here, and all I do is feed them in one at a time, which is very boring. It takes forever to do 100. Can only go as fast as you push them into the feed, and it's a little clumsy doing that too. It's not. I'm used to just pulling the handle and everything comes down, and it's all done for you except putting a bullet tip on. Well, I even got a Mr. Bullet feeder that feeds the tips too, so I'm not used to doing all the tedious, you know, pushing stuff in, putting the tips on and all that. I got spoiled. You know, I bought all the stuff for it. So, you know, with that said, now I think we're going to be all right. It's just going to take a long time to get these things loaded, done right, so it fits my buddy's SIG that he bought. And nothing worse than taking 6,000 rounds of ammo out there and you find out they don't even fit the gun. So you got a little bit scared about that. But no, don't feel bad about seeing your bullet tips out more than what the book says, because, I mean, there's a point, though, too, to where you can overdo it. So that's why you got to use, like, the Stony Point. That is a tool that is used to stick in to the chamber of a pistol or rifle, and then it finds where the rifling is and where the lance is, to where the twist of the barrel starts, because if you push that bullet in past that and it gets stuck, well, guess what could happen? You could have a problem with over excessive pressure, and then you could blow the gun up. So we don't want to do that. So we want to keep it away from the rifling, approximately 10 thousandths to 15 thousandths, even 20 thousandths away from the rifling. And that's a rule of thumb that we do. And then you want to chamber them. When you got a gun you're experimenting with, you want to chamber, make sure they're chambering okay without them. You push them in and real slow, and make sure that they're going all the way in and not sticking. If they're sticking, you better pull them back out, and you better do some better calculations, because you're hitting the rifling. So you do not want your bullet to stick in the chamber, because that bullet is too far out. So keep it back. A good rule of thumb is about 20 thousandths back behind the rifling, and you're safe. So the book, all the books that you read, is minimum overall length. That's what it means, minimum overall length. Doesn't mean you got to load them at that. If you got a gun that's going to accept it with a longer seating depth to extend your bullet past, you're more than welcome to do that. But you got to be real careful. It can be dangerous. So that's why you need a tool called a Stony Point, and that there is what gives you the exact measurements so that you know where you're at. Now, there's a lot of videos out there on the Stony Point. I'm going to try to do a video on the Stony Point and show you exactly how to use that thing. And then you guys can learn it. You guys that are beginners, not doing this for as many years as I've been doing it, you can watch how it's done. And if you don't want to wait for my video, there's plenty of videos out there with Stony Point. And it shows you how to find a rifling in your barrel of any gun, pistol or rifle. And then you can figure out your seating depth, what it needs to be. Because the book just shows you minimum overall length, and that just means that's the safe for all guns. Doesn't mean that it's a good load for all guns. It just means that that's what you get when you buy them off the shelf. That's what you're going to get, real close to what the book says. So these here are 40 calibers, and we got a long ways to go. So I think I'm on 3,000 rounds right now, and I got about 3,000 more left. So it's pretty boring for me to do this, put them in one by one, because I'm used to really, progressive loader, you want to just keep cranking and, knock out some bullets. Well, now I'm putting one in at a time. Might as well be like a single stage. So anyways, hope this is a little helpful to you guys understanding seating depths on pistol cartridges. Don't be afraid on that minimum overall length. But take precaution when you see them out longer than what the book says, because you can get yourself some deep trouble doing that. So there again, like I said, I'm not real good at talking on a camera, but I've been doing this for, like I said, 40 years, and I made some messes in my time. Had to pull apart a lot of shells, and I don't like doing that because that is pretty embarrassing. I thought I might have to tear all these apart, but I figured the best way to do is just seat them down to the book specs, and they'll be fine. And then actually what I got set up for is the seating dies up here. That I got set for the correct length, what the book says, and then the taper crimp is right after that, and then it's sealed again. And these are coated bullets, so they're not as hard as a copper coated bullet. So these are going to be scratched. There's not a doubt about it. If I took these apart right now, you'd see that they'd be scratched a little bit. So I know my earlier video, and you might find a couple of my videos on the 650, how I talked about how important it is when you seat your 223s that you don't want to, for ARs anyway, you don't want to over crimp them, because if you over crimp them, you dig the crimp right into the copper coating that's on it, and that'll throw your accuracy off big time, because I've done it. So what you want to do is you want to get that happy medium. You want to be as tight as you can, and you don't want to make a mark on the bullet tip. So that's my rule of thumb, and I've been probably preaching this on my other videos a little bit, and also preaching on this too. Try not to scratch the emulsion of the coating on the bullet tip, or even brand new ammo like from Hornady that's got the copper coating on it. It's already done. Those are a little bit tougher. You're going to find it be a little harder to actually scratch those. You could probably pop those out with a hammer, knocking them out, and you'll find that you didn't do anything to them. They're fine, even with the crimp on there. And then you can reuse them, put them back in, reload them again. But in this case, we're using some, I'll just tell you, I buy from S&S, which is out of Illinois, and I get the bullet tips pretty reasonable. I think they 10 millimeter somewhere around 4.5 cents a piece, and I buy like 5,000 at a time. And that's how you get a good price. And they come in about they say 4 cents, something like 4.5 cents, somewhere around there. I don't know. I'd have to look at my invoices. But anyways, this is it, guys, and hope you enjoyed the video. I'm going to sign off, and now would be a good time to hit that like button if you like this video. It's going to be more of a pain for me to get to the next 3,000 rounds done, or almost 4,000. I just started my 4,000 right now. I'm just getting started, so I'm getting there. So I'll get them done. All right, so subscribe to my channel if you like me, and I got a few more 650 videos out there. There's a lot of stuff on my channel, so check it out. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit that like button, make some comments. We'll take all your comments. So you guys all have a good day, and we'll catch you on the next video. See ya.